MTA proudly presents Out of Order. A sold-out crowd here at the MTA Arena as 32 of MTA's best monster trucks go head-to-head. Hi everyone, I'm your host Steve Jones. Be sure to crush that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. And let's get set to turn these bad boys loose, and we're going to crown the Out of Order champion right here tonight. We start with 32 trucks, and there can only be one Out of Order champion. Kicking things off here with round one racing. It's going to be BRADEN VARGA representing the Chevrolet camp with Titan. He draws up against Brandon Jager in the Zombie Fire Machine. He took home the Livewire Championship just a couple of months ago. The new kid on the block's looking to knock him off early. Both trucks are staged as we go green to kick off Out of Order down the straight stretch, up and over, and Zombie takes the win over the Titan Chevrolet. Next up, we've got Donald Price Jr. in the Son of a Digger Machine. He took home 2 championships on Thunder as well as overall points. He draws up the big blue oval. That's Mitch Brown and Bigfoot out of Pacific, Missouri. As we go green, Son of a Digger and Bigfoot up and over no man's land, and Bigfoot takes the win over Son of a Digger. He's on to round number 2. Next up, James Vaillancourt, who totaled out that truck on Thunder, and there you see what's left of the UFO machine. He draws up a brand new ride from Wells Motorsports, the Pirate's Curse. Ashley Obie behind the wheel. As we go green now, she's pulling a lead on him, but UFO coming back, and he takes the win over the Pirate's Curse machine. Next up, we've got Matt Cheever, that's Shaggy, and Gravedigger the Legend. He came close to coming out champion on the last episode of Thunder. He's turning out to be a true player on the Thunder circuit. He draws up against Jamie Pruitt in the Diggers Diecast Alien Invasion down the straight, up and over, pogos it, and Alien Invasion will upset Gravedigger the Legend. Next up in round 1 racing, we've got the former 5-time champion of Thursday Night Thunder. That's Bradley Graham in his brand new Max D ride. He draws up against Ben Wisher, representing the Chevrolet camp out of Elkton, Virginia, with Bad News Travels Fast. Stage as we go green, they're down the straight stretch now, up and over no man's land, and what a race! Max D will take the win. He's on to round number 2. Next up in round 1, we've got Chantel Bailey in the Scooby-Doo machine. She draws up against the Maximum Carnage champion. That's Chad Legit, Too Legit in the Sudden Impact Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. Both trucks are staged. Who moves on to round 2 at Out of Order? Down the straight stretch, they're up and over the cars. Scooby turns it over. Chad Legit and Sudden Impact move on to round 2. The MTA track crew and officials rushing down there to flip the Scooby-Doo machine back over. Hopefully she didn't hurt that truck too bad. She was definitely chasing down the Sudden Impact machine. There you see a little bit of fiberglass damage. No doubt about it, she gave it all she had here tonight. Sudden Impact will move on to round 2. Scooby's on the trailer. Next up, we've got Keith Cromwell out of the Diggers Diecast race team in the Monster Lobster Crustacean. He draws up against former 2-time Thunder champion Chris Baluk, Stinger Unleashed. Both trucks are staged. They want the championship bad as we go green. Both trucks are even down the straight, up and over, and Stinger turns it over. Crustacean will take the win. And Crustacean got some sick air off that jump. Well, next up, we've got Medusa. Melissa HOLUB, she draws up against Flying Ryan Paget in the Prowler machine. Both trucks staged at the starting line. These guys want to give it all they got right here tonight at Out of Order. As we go green, they're heading down the straight stretch. Medusa pulled a lead, but Prowler coming back, and he will upset the Medusa Ford. Moving on. Up next, we've got SKYLAR Stevens out of the Bad Weather race team. This is the BKT debut. He draws up against the El Toro Loco machine. Front engine design, coilover shocks. We're looking to see this truck rip and tear the Out of Order circuit here tonight. As we go green, they're off to a good start. Up and over the cars. What a race to the shutdown. And BKT takes the win over El Toro Loco. Up next, we've got the debut of 2 brand new rides. That's Rich Wagner. You ought to know him by now. He pilots the brand new Captain's Curse for Wells Motorsports. He draws up against newcomer David Beeks in the Rolling Thunder out of Bad Weather Racing. Both trucks stage as we go green. They're even down the straight, up and over no man's land, and they're even to the shutdown. I don't know who got the win. We're going down to a photo finish, and it's going to be Rich Wagner in the brand new Captain's Curse. Moving on. Next up, we've got Colton HOTCHKISS in the Diggers Diecast Mohawk Warrior. He draws up against Matthew Riley, who won the summer heat shootout in the Selby Chevrolet. He's now behind the wheel of the snakebite machine. As we go green, they're down the straight stretch now. They're looking even up and over the card, and Mohawk Warrior upsets the snakebite Ford. Well, up next, this cat's been talking a lot of smack on the MTA page. This is Liam STURMAN making his debut in the Devastator Chevrolet. He's got a hard task as he draws up the current Thunder champion, Megan Jager, and Whiplash down the straight stretch. They go up and over the card, and Liam STURMAN takes out the champion. What a way to announce your presence on the MTA circuit. Well, next up, we got another brand new ride out of the Team Bad Weather Racing. This is the brand new Hurricane Force. He draws up against the 1950 Chevy panel wagon. That's Austin Spence from the Throttle Out Show and Gravedigger. As we go green, Ford and Chevrolet up and over the cars, and Gravedigger takes out the brand new Hurricane Force. Next up, we've got Clint Williams in the brand new Vet King. He draws up against the outlaw Joshua Wells, representing monster truck attitude and that wicked looking MTA ride. Both trucks are staged. Only one can move on to round number 2. As we go green, down the straight stretch now, they're even up and over the cars, and Vet King rolls the truck over. I think he got the win. We're going down to a photo finish, and he takes the win on his lid. Up next here in round 1, we've got Lee Bailey in the Barefoot Dodge out of Pontoon Beach, Illinois. He draws up against the wild man Ryan Johnson in the Bad Fast Brodozer. He won Monster Mania just a couple of months ago. Staged as we go green, they're both even down the straight, up and over no man's land, and Brodozer will take the win over the Barefoot Dodge. Well, now we close out round 1 racing. That's Matt Dempsey in the Diggers Diecast Megaladon. He draws up against Aaron Church, debuting the brand new Bustin' Loose Chevrolet out of Conroe, Texas. Both trucks are staged. Only one can move on to round 2. There's the green light. Bustin' Loose pulling the lead on Megaladon, up and over, getting out of shape, and Bustin' Loose, Aaron Church and the Chevrolet take the win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed round 1 racing. And right now we're heading down to the pits of the MTA garage and showing you a sneak peek of what's new. There you see a brand new Saigon Shaker from the Metal Shop. It's going to debut this month in the June season of Thursday Night Thunder, as well as you see a brand new Advanced Auto Parts Grinder looking to make its debut out here very soon. The team's still working to get it together. And then on the other side of the shop, you see a brand new Taurus Chevrolet. Right now it's just a body. It's mounted up on another team's chassis just for looks, but that truck's going to be a front-ended design, hoping to make its debut here soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're kicking off round 2 action right here at Out of Order. Up first, we got Brandon Jager and Zombie. He's set to take on Mitch Brown in the Bigfoot Ford out of Pacific, Missouri. He's looking to put Team Bigfoot in the winner's circle for the first time in MTA history. This one's going to be an old-time slapping contest. As we go green, they're even down the straight, up and over no man's land. It's even through the shutdown. I don't know who got the win. We're going to check out the photo finish. It's going to be Mitch Brown and Bigfoot moving on. Next up in round 2, we've got James VAILLANCOURT in that battered and bruised UFO Ford. He draws up against Jamie Pruitt in the Diggers Diecast Alien Invasion. This one ought to be a barn burner. Both trucks are staged. There's the green light. UFO pulling a lead, up and over, loses the body, and Alien comes back and takes the win. What an incredible race. We're going down to the MTA replay. Watch UFO pull the lead, loses the rest of the body, up and over no man's land. Alien plants the horsepower and takes the win over UFO. What an incredible race. Well, moving on in round 2, we've got Bradley Graham and Max D, the brand new red addition to the Maximum Motorsports team. He draws up against Chad Legit, Too Legit, in the Sudden Impact Ford out of Frackville, Pennsylvania. Both trucks are staged as we go green. Both trucks off to a good start, up and over no man's land, and Sudden Impact will take the win over Max D. Next up, out of the Diggers Diecast race team, we've got Keith Cromwell in the Crustacean Machine. He draws up against Flying Ryan Paget in the Prowler Machine right there in the far lane. Both trucks are staged. They're looking to go to round number 3 at Out of Order. There's the green light. Crustacean pulling the lead. Prowler trying to catch up. And Keith Cromwell and Crustacean take the win. Next up in round 2, we've got Rich Wagner piloting the brand new Captain's Curse for Wells Motorsports. He draws up against the brand new BKT from the Bad Weather race team. That's Skylar Stevens behind the wheel. Both trucks are staged. Who moves on to round 3 at Out of Order? Down the straight stretch now. They're looking even, up and over no man's land, and what a race to the shutdown. I'm not sure who got the win as they came across pretty close. And it's going to be Rich Wagner and the Captain's Curse taking the win. Next up in round 2 action, we've got Liam STURMAN, who made a heck of an impact in round 1 racing. He draws up against the Diggers Diecast Mohawk Warrior. That's Colton HOTCHKISS behind the wheel. Both trucks staged now at the Out of Order starting line. Who moves on to round 3? There's the green light. Devastator win over the Mohawk Warrior. Next up, in round 2, we've got Clint Williams, the chauffeur, in the Vet King. He draws up against the 1950 Chevy panel wagon. That's Austin Spence in the Gravedigger. He's looking to knock off the Vet King as we go green down the straight stretch now. Both trucks are even up and out of the cars, and what a race across the finish line. We're going back to an MTA replay. Look at them even through no man's land, up and over the second set of cars across the finish line, and Vet King Clint Williams will take the win over Gravedigger. Next up, as we close out round 2 action, you've got Wild Man Ryan Johnson in the Brodozer. He draws up against Aaron Church in the Bustin' Loose Chevrolet out of Conroe, Texas, who made a heck of an impact in round 1 racing. Now he's got to knock off the former Monster Mania champion. As we go green, down the straight stretch now, they're even up and over no man's land, and Brodozer gets wild at the end. He moves on to round number 3. Well, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to tune in to the Monster Truck Attitude YouTube channel this Thursday night at 7 p.m. as we get set to kick off the June season of Thunder. Moving right along with Out of Order, we kick off round 3 racing. Up first in round 3, we're going to see Mitch Brown in the Bigfoot Ford representing the Big Blue Oval out of Pacific, Missouri. He draws up against the Diggers Diecast Alien Invasion, who's been knocking them off one at a time at Out of Order. Here we go now as we go green. They're down the straight. Bigfoot pulling a lead. And Alien, for the second time tonight, comes from behind and takes the win. Next up, we've got Chad Legit out of Frackville, Pennsylvania in the Sudden Impact Ford. He draws up against the Diggers Diecast Crustacean. That's Keith Cromwell behind the wheel. He's looking to take that truck to semis, but he's got to outrun Sudden Impact. There's the green light. They're down the straight stretch, even through no man's land, up and over. What a race across the finish line. That was so close, going down to a photo finish, and it's going to be Keith Cromwell in the Crustacean. Next up in round 3, we've got Rich Wagner in the brand new Captain's Curse Machine, representing Wells Motorsports. He draws up against the Rising Star. That's Liam Sturman in the Devastator Chevrolet. Both trucks are staged. There's the green light. They're down the straight. Devastator slightly pulling a lead, and he will upset the 7-time Thunder champion. Liam Sturman and Devastator take the win. Next up, as we close out round 3 racing, we've got Clint Williams in the Vet King. He draws up against Wild Man Ryan Johnson in the Brodozer. Vet King knocked off the Gravedigger in what was probably the closest race I've ever called. As he goes green against Brodozer, they're down the straight, even through no man's land, and Brodozer takes out Vet King. He's in the semis. And ladies and gentlemen, we started with 32. We are now down to 4 as we kick off semifinal action. That's Keith Cromwell in the Diggers Diecast Crustacean Machine. He draws up against a teammate in the Diggers Diecast Alien Invasion. That's Jamie Pruitt. She's looking to come on to the finals, but so is Keith Cromwell. As we go green, it's a battle of Diggers Diecast up and over the cars, and Alien Invasion will take the win. She's in the finals. Next up, we've got Wild Man Ryan Johnson. He's looking to knock off the new kid on the block, Liam Sturman in the Devastator Chevrolet, who's been knocking him off at Out of Order. He's looking to showcase that Chevrolet in the finals, but he's got to knock out Ryan Johnson as we go green, even down the straight, up and over the cars, and Brodozer puts the new kid on the shelf. He's in the finals with Alien Invasion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the finals are coming up next. We'll be right back with Out of Order after the break. Want to get in on the action? You think you got what it takes to climb to the top of the MTA mountain? Be sure to log on to Facebook.com and check out the group Monster Truck Attitude and watch for registration. Also, you can check us out on Instagram and check out every brand new truck before they hit the MTA circuit. You can sign up for events like Thursday Night Thunder every Thursday night at 7 p.m. on YouTube and other special events. Be sure to check out Monster Truck Attitude. Welcome back to Out of Order, ladies and gentlemen. It is now final time. We started with 32. We are now down to 2. Wild Man Ryan Johnson in Brodozer. He is set to take on the Diggers Diecast Alien Invasion with Jamie Pruitt behind the wheel. Ladies and gentlemen, Alien Invasion, Brodozer. It's showtime here at Out of Order as we go green, down the straight stretch, into the first jump, up and over the cars. Alien couldn't get it shut down and goes through the back. What a race across the finish line. I'm not sure who did get the win. We're going down to the MTA replay. Look at them, even down the straight, up and over through no man's land, to the second set of cars. And I believe we're going down to a photo finish. And what an incredible final. Your winner is going to be Alien Invasion, as she knocked off the Brodozer. Congratulations to Jamie Pruitt and Alien Invasion. You are the Out of Order champion. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed the Out of Order event. Be sure to crush that subscribe button. I thank you guys for all the kind comments. Be sure to give this video a like if you can. Thank you guys so much for supporting MTA, and I'll catch you down the road. See you next time.
Standing tall up in victory lane, I done brought the pain and now they screaming my name. Yeah, everybody saw me rock the place. Now there's flashbulbs are popping and mics in my face. Always giving the crowd what they need. Now they're wearing my shirts front row to nosebleed. Now the crowd forms is what it's all about. Signing autographs until the lights out. Yeah, it's about